Welcome to our 2 cents. Welcome to our 2 cents.
Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary folk, welcome back to our 2 cents. We're doing it again here at Ransom Studios with your host, Oscar. Thank you for all your support. Please continue to hit the subscribe button. It's free to you, and it means the world to me. It means a lot of support. And if anybody out in the world wants to support just a little more, we do have a Buy Me a Coffee link right in the description.
They should definitely get it.
They should definitely buy me a coffee. Anyways, welcome back, ladies. What a week we've had. National events, not national, international events have happened. And, the world is upside down one more time, especially in Asia. And not over here. Well, here in Southern California, if we go a little bit south, a little bit more south, we get to TJ, and if we go to the left, I believe, more to the left from TJ all the way, I don't even know how many miles, there's other towns in front of Texas and Texas too, are flooding us today.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
In the news that we read last night. That's where I found it. It is the end times. We have gotten really close to the age of Armageddon. Is that the right word? Yes, Armageddon is the right word. Anyways, so I don't even know where we're at today. I just know that there was an earthquake in Myanmar, Thailand, and all whatever is right next to Thailand that was affected. That's because I don't know. I think it's also there's a city called Burma there in that place. Yeah. I don't know. I think it is. But anyways, it was a nasty earthquake, 7.7 earthquake. That will bring a lot of the buildings down. And it did. And you know what? It's sad to think of it this way, but you know what? That's why in the fucking greatest country in the world, in fucking United States of America, we have to say it that way so we don't get deported. That's why we have fucking guidelines to follow when building a fucking building. During the earthquake, I saw that there was a building that came down, and that building was barely being constructed. How the fuck did that building that was barely being constructed came down? And you're going to say, well, it wasn't ready. They didn't get it ready because they didn't have time before the earthquake hit. Yeah. That's why you start from the bottom up. Not you build it up first and then you tighten everything down. Why the fuck would you do that?
That's a pretty dumb way of setting the thing up.
To me, it seems like that's the way they did it. They did it that way. Like that's how they constructed. And you know what? And a lot of people complain when they're building something here in this country because, oh, we have to get permits for this. We have to get permits for that. Yeah, now look at why. Perfect example of why you need permits to build some shit that it's supposed to withstand 7-point-something earthquakes. Now, not all the buildings fell down. A lot of those buildings were still standing. And, you could tell which ones did follow those guidelines that they were supposed to follow, those instructions, all those, whatever the hell it is. But it is crazy and wild to think that not that long ago, probably like a month ago, rivers were turning red. And everybody was like, even I was like, oh, it's just minerals in the water, iron, too much iron in the water that's coming out of the ground. Yeah, why is that happening today? And it's never happened before. Why? And that is why, because shit's about to go down. Shit is about to go down. The stage is set, everybody. Everyone needs to realize that the stage is already set. Even though Israel is now deemed what is deemed now? Fucking illegal state. Israel is now considered an illegal state. Pull up that video that says illegal state Israel. Right now, it's by the European, I don't know what, it's been sanctioned as an illegal state. and they are no longer allowed to keep doing what they are doing. But you know what's funny about this? Don't put it yet when I'm done with this thought. But this is what I find so hilarious about it, right? The same thing they did to Putin. They're like, oh, he's a murderer because he's causing all this war over there and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? They didn't go over there and arrested him. They knew where he was at. So what does it matter that they're calling now Israel an illegal state if they're not going to do anything about it? Go ahead.
This is a watershed moment for Palestine, for justice and for international law. Israel's occupation has been declared unlawful.
See what I mean?
By the World Court, which has stipulated that it must be terminated completely and as rapidly as possible. The court also found that illegal Israeli occupation violates the UN Charter, human rights, and international humanitarian law. The court further
by the international court. See,
all Israeli settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory are illegal and must be dismantled, and that all Israeli settlers must be evacuated.
You know what those...
The court declared that Israeli illegal occupation not only violates, but eviscerates the Palestinian people's right to self-determination in their own land, including the right to their own state.
See, okay, you can stop it there. That's enough. We already know that Israel is the one that's causing all the damage. Even though I don't agree with a lot of the things that those people in Palestine promote, I just don't think it's right what they're doing to those people. You know what? There's good people on both sides, okay? That's what Trump said about the Nazis a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Anyways, so we've known what he's doing. Say they did the same thing to Putin, like, right? They were, he's a criminal now and he will be arrested if he goes to a country where we follow the rules of this, but everywhere else that doesn't follow it, it doesn't matter because nothing's gonna happen to them.
So then doesn't that mean like I actually lost what I was gonna say.
Oh, anyway, see? That must be my son. You're supposed to put laughs right there.
I didn't have it ready.
Jesus Christ. You're supposed to be the audio guy. You can't be the audio guy and say I'm not ready. You can't do that. You just cannot. Anyways, back to Israel. Like what I was saying is that it's crazy to think that, they know where that person that's doing it is at, but they won't go get it. They won't go get him. Right? And this is what's more interesting. It doesn't matter what they fucking say about him. If the U.S. is protecting him, giving them money, then what the fuck does it matter? They ain't gonna do shit. Guess who the international court listens to? Goddamn America. That's fucking right. So they're not gonna do anything because, what is it? Trump is in support of whatever Israel is doing. They're saying they have the right to defend their state. But, what the fuck are they defending themselves from? They're not being attacked. At the moment, all we see is Palestine being obliterated. And you know what's crazy about this fucking whole Palestine-Israel shit?
What?
This shit goes all the way back to the Bible times.
Why the Bible times?
Now, I've said it before, and you probably heard me say it before. And a lot of people think this is offensive, saying, well, yeah, people want to claim that they're religious and that they love Jesus Christ and all this crap, right?
Yeah.
But all the Christians that are in support of Trump, that are also supporting Israel, and also if you're supporting some kind of Israel and you're not Israelite or a fucking Jew, you're a fucking idiot. Anyways, what I was saying is I lost my train of thought. I did. Damn, you're supposed to be keeping track of what I'm saying. But, this goes back to the Bible times, right?
Yeah.
So when you ask people, like, are you Christian and why are you supporting Israel? They'll give you some bullshit excuse. But the thing I'm seeing is like, okay, everybody's supporting the Jews, even Christians are, right? But my question is, who got Jesus crucified if you're so fucking Christian? If you're so fucking Christian, you would not be supporting anything that the Jews are fucking doing.
You might end up pissing off a lot of people.
Yeah, only the Jews. Only the Jews are going to get pissed off. But anyway, what was I saying?
Only why...
Oh, the Jews are a fault of everything. And you know what? This is what I was saying, is that it goes all the way back to the Bible. Because again, who got Jesus crucified? Now, you don't know the whole Bible story, the whole storyline of it. But the people that got Jesus crucified was the Jews. Why? Because they claimed that he was the false prophet, that he was healing people. Oh, and because there's a story where Jesus healed someone sick, or somebody was dead, and he told him, hey, get back up, and the dead guy got up.
I thought it was a blind man, because there was a lot of people saying that one.
What the Jews were mad about was that he did that on a Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah, and supposedly Sunday is the Lord's day. But how are you going to tell the guy that's supposed to be Jesus, supposed to be the Lord, how are you going to tell him you can't do this on this day? And also, you know what? And I ask myself, like, I've asked myself, like, why, if the whole religion thing, Jesus being crucified, it's real, and that he was the Son of God, and that he could have stopped whatever he wanted to, but he didn't, because he wanted to let people see what sacrifice was about. That's why he let himself get crucified, just so that people would realize the sacrifice that Jesus was making to forgive your sins, even though you weren't born yet. I don't know how the fuck you're a sinner if you weren't born at the time. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that the Jews got Jesus crucified, and I said this a bunch of times on my podcast. And I'm not a religious person, but I've read the Bible, and I do understand that, as a matter of fact, it was the Jews who took Jesus to the Romans, and they turned him over to the Romans, and the Romans were like, because the Romans had a rule. Like, okay, they'll kill someone, but they'll let somebody else free. But the people is going to choose who they want to kill. They want to kill the guy that was robbing and murdering people, or you want to kill the guy that was healing people, that was talking about God, that was telling everybody to be good, to be a good person.
So they went for the second option.
And so what the Jews said, hey, that's the false prophet.
Damn.
And then when Pontius Pilatus, I think that's his name, when the Roman emperor came to the crowd and asked him, hey, this guy did this and this guy did that. Who do you want free and who do you want crucified? Well, guess what the people chose? Because being influenced by the Jews, guess what they chose?
Cross.
Crucify Jesus Christ and free the guy that was robbing everybody and killing people. Does that sound like today's times too?
Yes.
Like, people choose the stupidest people to go out into the world and do all these crazy things, and then they come out and have done something horrific, and they're like, oh my God, how could that person have done that? Well, you fucking idiots picked them. You guys don't pick anybody with a brain. And if you guys pick somebody with a brain, that somebody with a brain turns into a jerk off too. So I guess we're fucked either way. But anyways, so yeah, the option came up, and then people chose to crucify Jesus. So therefore, if the Jews wouldn't have done what they did, Jesus Christ would have not been crucified at that time. Maybe later on he would have. But then again, it's like, you set them up so they could do that to you. Is that good or is that evil? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I just call it like I see it. And it seems to me like everything was a lie. But the story about the Jews is, throughout history, all the Jews, all the generations of Jews have, at every empire that they have gone, every what's it called, where the king rules,
Kingdoms.
Every kingdom that they've gone to, they always, like, these people are really smart though. Here's the thing though, these people are really smart. They're really bright. They're really good with money. So they're so good with money, they always end up figuring out a way how to take over the economy of that empire or that kingdom. And in today's case of a country, which they've taken over the U.S., yes. Hollywood is owned by nothing but Jews. Any entertainment industry, football, and even pornography is owned by the Jews. Disneyland owns a lot of pornography studios, just so you know, by the way. Disneyland does. The Disney Corporation does. Anyways, but what was I saying about the Jews? Oh, they are really this. They are smart people. They are. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that they're evil, because eventually they're so good with money that they figure out a way to be in charge of everybody's money. How? How do you think? Let's see if you remember how people make money out of thin air. If you remember Rich Dad Poor Dad, the kid version that you read, you should.
I think that one might have been because that sends. How do I say this?
It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. Just say it.
I don't know, because you won't understand it if I say it.
Well, it doesn't matter. Say it.
Okay, so it's like
Don't leave dead air, because that's when you're quiet. You're leaving too much dead air.
Okay, so what I think, because I haven't finished reading the whole thing. I got halfway there.
Okay.
I told you I got halfway there.
Anyways, the way you make money out of thin air is by loaning money. How do the banks make fucking billions of dollars?
From getting loans.
People drop off their money to them, then they use that money to make more money, and they keep all the money that they made, but they don't give you shit.
Greed.
They don't give you nothing. They used your money to make money, but they don't give you nothing. Now, don't overdraft a single fucking dollar, because they'll charge you $35 if you go over $1.
So what if I put a penny in it?
It doesn't matter. You still owe them $35 for going over your balance.
Half a penny.
Like, even though they get my money and they use it to make money, they still charge me to make fucking to overdraft. Which Wells Fargo is really good at that. Wells Fargo is a piece of shit of a bank. I'm going to say that out loud. I'll say it again. Wells Fargo is a piece of shit of a bank. Why? Because you will have enough money to pay something, right? And then what they'll come out and do is they'll rearrange everything so that somehow you end up being negative and they can charge you an overdraft fee. Because I use my card a lot. Right? And when you go and check everything that I bought in order, say I had $230, for example, right? I ended up using $23, and then I ended up using $210. That's about $230, right? I ended up using $210 and $20 something else. They'll rearrange it to where the $320 ends up putting you overdraft. I don't know how the fuck they do it. It's complicated to even fucking explain. But I've seen them do it. I have screenshots of them doing it. And that's how they've gotten me on overdraft fees forever. Now, there'll be times that I'm like, all right, I understand. I did that to myself. It's okay. I'll pay it. When it's my fault, I'll pay it. And I won't even say a single fucking word. But when it's the bank, I'm going to go fucking hard on whoever the fuck answers that phone. I'm going to be calling them a fucking idiot and a dumbass for stealing my money. Because they're so quick to take that money away from you. But when they owe you money, no. You know what? You got to wait 3 to 5 business days to get your money back. That's why I hate banks. I hope all banks of the world. You know what? I hate Obama. I do. And not because he's black. Well, that's beside the point. But anyways. I hate Obama because that motherfucker saved all the bankers in 2008 when the economy crashed in 2008. Yes, Obama saved every single one of them. And Obama being president brought a division into the country. And Obama being in president is what caused fucking Biden's presidency to fuck us all up.
Don't die, hell no!
Yes, he's about to die, hell yeah. Well, who knows? That guy, his cook, his chef that died in his small lake that was really shallow waters. Do you want to hear the weird story about this, right? Oh, yeah. So ex-President Obama's chef, he appeared dead at one of his lake house.
Lake house? Yeah,
one of Obama's lake house. He was dead in the lake, and there was a little bit of water where he drowned. Okay, the news came out. Hey, president's chef died at his lake. It's a mysterious death. They don't know how he died. Now, the next day, somebody catches Obama at a golf course. Take pictures of him. Guess what's in his hands?
What?
His hands are wrapped around as if he has injuries in his knuckles. After the guy appeared dead out of nowhere at his house on his lake.
So he beat it. That shit that him.
There's a story that says this gets into the Obama story too. There's a story about Obama. And no, not a story. It's actually, you can watch it online. If we pull it up, we could probably find it, but we're not going to do that. Where Obama and his wife are talking, Big Mike, where Obama and Big Mike are talking, right? And Big Mike they ask him a question. And Obama's all like, yeah, if you would have gotten married with that other guy, you would be the wife of the president's chef. Meaning the chef of the president was Big Mike's ex-boyfriend. Okay? You seeing the connections? Or do you not see the connections of the dead chef that died?
Sort of.
So the answer, this stupid bitch, Big Mike's answer was, he told him that if you wouldn't gotten married with me, Obama told her, if you would not have gotten married with me, you would be the president of a chef. That's what Obama told her, right? And then her response was like, no, if I was married to that chef would be the president today. Meaning like, Joe, because you're married with me, you're the president of the United States. Like, no, bitch, the fuck no. You clearly would be the president of a fucking chef. Now, anybody could be a fucking chef, but not anybody could be a fucking president. That's loud and clear. I said it. And you know what? All the fucking stupid bitches, feminists, were like, oh my God, listen to what she said. Ha ha ha, she got him.
You sure about that?
Yes. Not realizing that they're making themselves look more of a gold diggers. All right? Mm-hmm. That's what most bitches want. They want your money.
Oh, yeah, I know what gold diggers are.
Yes. Anyways, what was I saying before that? And the Jews take control of all the money. Going back to that. And the Jews take control of the money. So back in the empire days when there was kings and emperors and all that bullshit, right? The Jews would come in, take over all the money by lending people and the government money. So eventually, people and the government would end up in debt with them. So guess what? Oh, well, don't worry about it. You can't pay me. Well, I'll just own your property for now because you can't pay me. Oh, I'll just own this. Oh, I'll just own that. Oh, I own the kingdom now because you owe us money. So what would the kings do? Kings would be like, nah, fuck that. Get him the fuck out of here, and you're the fuck out of here, or you're all gonna get killed, or get out of here. Whichever one you want. You want to die or you want to get out of here. You know, people leave because they didn't want to die. And that's why everybody's all like, oh, Jews have not been accepted anywhere they go ever. Guess why, bitches? Because you end up owning everything and you leave nothing for everybody else.
You shook this side of the room, by the way, when you did that.
Yeah, because the table was close to that wall. That's why the Jews, they have never, ever been accepted anywhere they've gone.
Harvard? Except
today. Now the U.S., the U.S. is accepting them wholeheartedly. I don't understand why. If the U.S. is a Christian nation, that's why we're bringing up the Jesus stuff, because the U.S. is supposed to be a Christian nation. How the fuck can you support someone that got your God crucified if you're a Christian? Explain that to me. Somebody please do. I don't understand that. You know what? We will bring a Palestinian one of these days so that he can explain to us what's going on with that. No, we will. I know. I already got him in line. He already told me that. When am I going to go on your podcast? And I was like, all right, I'll let you know. So I might bring him next week, and we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, but that's why the Jews have never been accepted anywhere, because they end up in charge of all the money, proper because people don't have money to give them all the money. That's why they end up in charge of all the properties. And like today, the whole entertainment industry, like I told them, they own all Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Done.
so what I was trying to get to with the Jews was that they have a calendar. They have, supposedly is the real calendar that it's been counting down for generations, right? And in this calendar, we're supposed to be at the year 5,785. This is the year. It's not 2025. It is in the Roman calendar. It is the year 2025.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Jewish traditional calendar, we're in the year 5,785. But knowing that, you have to take into account that there is 210 years missing from the calendar. And you can clearly see that on when they switch, I don't know what the other calendar was called, but when they switch to the Gregorian calendar, which is what the Roman calendar, which we're using right now. All right. Mm-hmm. There's 210 years missing out of the whole calendar. So 5,785 plus the 210 missing, that equals 5,995. We are at the year 5,995,
So
according to the Jewish traditional calendar.
So basically, just 5 more years till. Wait, what year it said it was?
Yes, 5 more years till the year 6,000.
6,000.
And here's where it gets interesting. Now, that puts us at a year's 6,000, right? In 5 years, it'll be the year 6,000. So, according to the Bible, God created everything in 6 days. In 6 days, and He rested the seventh day. But if we get into more into, I don't understand the details of it or not. But what I do understand is that when the Bible says in God's time 1 day, it's supposed to equal 1,000 years. And 1,000 years for us, well, 1 day for God is 1,000 years for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is what I'm trying to say. So, according to the Bible, the earth, everything, water or whatever, whatever people fucking call it. What do they call it? Fuck, this shit in the sky, the
Dome?
The dome. No, but there's another word.
Atmosphere?
No, it's in the Bible, that word. I forgot the word. I know I'm going to be listening to this shit, ready to post, and I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Shit.
The outer layer?
The dome. Yeah, the dome. I forgot what it's called. The firmament. God damn it. Right. I got it. Right. So God created earth, the firmament, the waters, heaven and hell and below, whatever, heaven and earth and all that. God created that in 6 days. And He rested the seventh day. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we are in the 6,000 year in 5 years. Meaning that after 2030, I don't know what's going to start, but it's suspicious to me that the Jewish calendar says that we are in the year 5,995. And when we talk about what did I say? Armageddon, apocalypse. When we talk about the apocalypse, it just seems too crazy what's happening nowadays. Now, supposedly the Jews, we talked about this months ago, but supposedly the Jews have the 5 heifers ready, the 5 big fat girls ready, the 5 cows, they got them ready. The 5 red cows are ready to be sacrificed at the temple.
Big bag,
Yes.
big bag, big bag, big bag. Yeah, my bag is loaded up with snacks and different food.
Cut it. If you see me coughing, put it down. I don't want to cough into the microphone because it's annoying.
Okay.
Anyways. What was I saying? Oh, the 5 cows are ready to be sacrificed, and they're supposed to sacrifice in April. We're in it. They're supposed to be sacrificed in April, right? The cows are ready, and also the Euphrates, whatever the fuck that river is called, that river dried up. And in the Bible, it says when that river dries up, the end times have begun. Now, if you go to Saudi Arabia, they got flooded, so now they got the desert is now blooming. They got plants growing out of the fucking ground now because the desert is growing plants now. And also in South America, what happened last month? Rivers were turning red everywhere. Was it Japan, Russia, Chile, Peru, Argentina? All those rivers turned red. Another sign of the end times. That's what Revelations in Ezekiel's Revelation says, that the waters will turn red, the rivers will dry up, deserts will blossom, shit's gonna change pretty much. Now, and also, all that's happening, yeah.
We have been on this one for like 20 minutes now.
Oh, we have. Well, we'll move on. Well, this is kind of a long one.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, what was I saying? Also, political. If we look at the political event that's happening between Israel, Palestine, the U.S. and Europe and all that, everybody's getting mad at each other, so they're gonna start being at each other's throats. So meaning, that's another fucking sign that the fucking events are lining up. Political events are lining up, people.
So
Judgment Day is upon us.
So basically, puzzles and they're just pulling each other together.
Oh, and also, yeah, the poles have moved, by the way, for 40
yeah,
miles.
they did again.
That's another event that's happened in the last couple of years that we've been talking about it. You know what? I've talked about this shit. I don't hear any I don't listen to podcasts where they talk shit like I do. I only listen to podcasts where people have conversations. I don't think I listen to a podcast where someone's doing it by themselves like I am. I don't think I do. I don't think that's fun. Maybe that's why I don't get a lot of listens. You know what, Europeans? Thank you. You guys are the second most downloading, the second place where I'm most downloaded at. So thank you. I got to thank all those Eurofucks. Thank you.
And also the first one is here in America.
Of course, this is number one. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? Why would you even think that this is not number one?
Crazy people.
Yes, crazy people who live here, have never been outside of the country, and they're like, the U.S. is a country where people are oppressed and all they do is work. Yeah, that's why everybody came here, to work. Although I hate it. But that's not the point. The point is that this is the greatest country in the world. You know how I know that? And if anybody else says otherwise, yeah, but Switzerland, they pay $25 an hour minimum wage. Yeah, why don't you go live over there in the fucking snow? And you guys say, well, Japan is good. People care about you. People are nice.
No,
they're not.
No,
They're not. But here in the fucking greatest country in the world, America, there's a fucking, if you go down the southern border, maybe even the northern border now, and we can look at Florida too, and maybe we can look at the beach over there by San Diego, right? Maybe you can look at that too. If we go there, hold that thought, don't lose it, because I don't want to lose mine. If we go there, we will see lines and lines of people fucking dying to get in this fucking country. That's how I know this is the greatest country in the world. Because there's a line of people that are dying to get in here. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just saying their places suck because I know about places sucking. Anyways, what was your thought?
What's funny about Japan is that once you get in a job, you can't quit.
But see, this is what I'm saying. That's stupid. There's a comedian that talks about they did a study in the town where he lived. Mm-hmm. And some Japanese kid, well, I don't know, professors, doctors came in and did a study on people. Because in Japan, people, like children, like were literally killing themselves because they wouldn't pass a class or they wouldn't pass a grade, right? They would kill themselves. So they did a study in Mexico. It was like, why are those kids not killing themselves? Because even though they don't pass. So they asked some of the kids that didn't pass to the next grade, right? They asked them, was like, well, what happened with you didn't pass grades or what? And like, well, I'm right here. And what they found weird about it was that they were laughing about it, right? So they asked them. Now the professor asked him, like, well, weren't you worried that you were bringing shame to your family? And the guy was like, what the fuck? No. Like, and that's the difference between Japan and everybody else.
That is wild.
Those kids think that they'll bring what did I say?
Dishonor.
Oh yeah, they'll bring dishonor to their family because they failed at something. So their failure they take it so wholeheartedly that they end up killing themselves because they're so sad that they didn't pass the grade. So yeah. They did that study and they figure out like, hey, you shouldn't give a fuck about that. Exactly. You should only give a fuck about challenging yourself. It's for you. It's for you. It's not for your family. Now, if you want to decide not to do that and you want to struggle the rest of your life, well, be my guest. Don't do it. And like I was telling my kid last night on the live, don't go to fucking college if you're going to do some stupid career. Might as well just get into a trade, follow that trade and just get good at it. And in 10 years, you'll be fucking telling all those stupid fucks that didn't get their shit together, like me, you'll be telling them what the fuck to do and you wouldn't be doing anything. Everybody's going to be doing your job and therefore you will be getting paid more. So don't do what I do. Do what I say. Anyways. That's happening in the world. The stage is set up, people. Rivers are drying. The cows are ready. Deserts are blooming. Rivers are drying. Did I say that already?
Wait, what?
Waters are turning red.
What was up with the Arctic growing flowers and all that? And
Well, that's
just
what I'm
died
talking
quick.
about. Deserts blooming.
Oh yeah, I know, but like that died like really quick when it first came out of hearing flowers in the Arctic.
Well, here's the thing about news nowadays. News nowadays, they go by so quick because look at the earthquake. The earthquake, it's not even being talked about online anymore. And that happened 2 days ago. It's barely even talked about now. Like you'll see a post about it here and there, but whatever is happening today, that's what the news is. We have such an attention spam that we have. We don't pay attention to things. It just keep moving on and on and on and on and on and on. It doesn't matter. Good. They need to eventually they'll get to my podcast and they'll start listening to it and they'll go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But anyways, that's that. Okay, we did the Israel's an illegal state, right? Okay, let's do that. Now, this one's a little weird, right? I'm a little confused about what the fuck is this. So I came across this video. Go ahead and play it. So I came across this video where Jeff Bezos, right, is building a giant $42 million clock inside of a mountain to keep time for 10,000 years. Yeah, play it. This is crazy. Now, look at him. He's building the clock inside the mountain.
So only the construction workers know the location?
I'm pretty sure if we research, we can find the location. I'm pretty sure it's not public, but I don't think it's a secret. Now,
Giant gears.
Now listen to me. If this thing is made to last 10,000 years no matter what is the safest place on Earth?
That.
But now, if shit goes to hell, right? If the world goes to hell, what would you rather do? Would you rather live in a post-apocalyptic time, a post-apocalyptic event, or would you rather die in the apocalypse? Let's see a child's thought on this.
What's the first option again?
You want to survive or you want to die during the event?
To be completely honest, I don't want to be cooked up in there for like almost.
Well,
a while.
Here's the thing. I think you would want to be cooked up because trying to survive is going to be a motherfucker.
Well, yeah.
Why?
Like,
Because right now, we walk out the store. If there was no cars, we walk out, we get to the corner of the store and get food.
Yeah.
We could get whatever we need, right? So, and now there's an apocalyptic event. There's no stores. There's no running water. You have to find water. You have to find everything. And on top of that, you're going to have to survive stupid fucks who are going to think that they can take shit away from you just because they feel stronger. There's going to be evil people. And this goes back to that show that I was watching a long time ago and that I hated after a couple seasons, right? Fucking The Walking Dead was an amazing show. I loved it since the beginning. Very first episode, I fell for it. I was in it. But after it was the third season, when it wasn't even about zombies anymore, it got to the point where the whole series, it wasn't even about zombies anymore, and it was called The Walking Dead, and that's where I got annoyed. That's where like I'm out. I don't want to watch this shit. But you know what? But now that I'm saying this, I realize that that's what would happen in an apocalyptic event. It would stop being about the apocalypse and it would start being about other people trying to take over other people. But I hated it at the time, but now I realize that that's what. But what I was saying is the safest place to be if an apocalyptic event is at Jeff Bezos' clock. Do you think he didn't set up a fucking chamber for his family in that fucking mountain where he put the clock?
Probably.
More than likely, yes. If I was a rich fuck like him, I would do that. You know what I really want to do? What I really want to have? It's called. They're like pods. You know that those pods where Dragon Ball Z, where they go into another planet, the capsule. Yeah, they make those. They make those for tsunamis.
Oh, those pods, like it's an orange dome, and
yeah,
it has a tracker on the dome.
I don't know. I think it does have a tracker, but if it's I guess you would want to be found if it's just a tsunami. But if it's an apocalyptic tsunami, you think you would want to be found by other people? Probably not. Staying there. Yeah, I want to get some of those for because California, more than half of it was underwater not that long ago. But anyways, Jeff Bezos is building a giant clock, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say, in that giant clock, there's a room for him and his family to be saved. Except his ex-wife. He'll probably kick her out and be like, yeah, you're not staying in here. Go over there. Anyways. That's interesting. But you know what? I had a thought, right? And I wrote it down. I had a couple thoughts for this, and I'll go over them today. There's a couple things that really piss me off. There's one thing that really pisses me off that I can recite today. But one of the things that I've been wondering is, they say that dogs have a powerful nose, right?
Oh, I know where you're getting this one from.
Dogs have a powerful nose. How is it possible, or why do they need to get so close to another dog's asshole to smell it? If they can smell something from a fucking distance. How does that even make sense? That doesn't even make sense. I think they're doing it to confuse people. They're doing it to confuse people. They're one because, have you ever seen a dog is close to you and smells your ass? That's weird. What do you want me to do next? Say hello by smelling your ass too? Probably not.
You took that from I forgot his name.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. He asked it, and I was like, oh my God, he's so right. Anyways, but let's move on. Let's go with Elon.
Elon?
Just get it ready. All right. So.
Wait, which one's that one?
The rocket swirl or whatever.
The spiral rocket?
Yeah, that.
All right.
We're going to go that one, and then we'll do the one next to it, the blue one next to it afterwards, okay? But don't show it yet. Okay, so I've watched rockets go into space, and as soon as fucking Elon started shooting rockets into space, we started seeing this fucking lights in the sky.
Oh yeah, and we saw one. Me and Frank saw one like a couple weeks ago from down there.
But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that light of smoke that leaves in the sky. I don't know if it's smoke, whatever it is, when it hits the atmosphere, air quotes, right? When it hits the atmosphere and it does all that, it's just weird to me. Like, but I can believe that. I can believe the ones that we've seen, but I cannot believe what they saw in Europe and Croatia. Please, people in Europe, go tell me something about this. Tell me if this was true or if it was just made up over here. And play it, not just watch it, because I don't even know what to say about this because it's really confusing. Because look, you should pause it when yeah. Let it go slow. No, it's going. Let it go.
Yeah, it's slow motion.
Oh, okay, so I don't understand what happened here. All right, the spiral lights that was seen from the sky. Like, I mean, I'm not the smartest fellow in the world, but I do understand that they have not changed the way they propel these rockets into space. So why is it looking different now? Why is it making all these fucking pictures in the sky now? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know. The middle of it just looked like another part of a galaxy opening up.
But it's not. It's supposed to be Elon's rocket.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what's more weird about it?
What?
They said it was a SpaceX rocket, right? They said that, but it was supposed to be a secret mission because they don't have no records of it going into space. Was it a fucking rocket? I mean, we've all seen the launches, right? We've all seen the launches. We've never seen a spiral shit like that unless they're using a different type of fuel or whatever propels it into space. Unless they're using a different method. But as far as I know, it's just fucking same hydrogen rocket fuel that pushes the rocket up into the air. It's not like it's going up in a spiral. And also, it's light. And it's like right there. It's not like it's light that's coming from the sun that allegedly takes 8 minutes to get to us. It's not like that. That light was right there. It should have never done that. If we would have seen anything, it should have been a big flash of light. But then again, the fuck do I know? So I'm not buying it. I don't believe that was a rocket that Elon was sending into space. So that's that. I'm not buying it.
So we have kidnap Bishop.
Yes, Bishop. Now, and I'm going to go back to religion. This is what I'm talking about, religion, right? I hate religion. Don't show you. But I hate religion, right? And we all know that. It's not a secret that our 2 cents doesn't like religious people. Fanatics of religion. Like, anybody who goes to a mega church, you're a fucking retard. Why I called you a retard? What time are we at?
We are 48 minutes.
Why do I call you a retard? Because you have people like, play it. You have people like this. Put it up.
Lead, and they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant.
He just kidnapped a bunch of people.
There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight.
See how much he's asking for from people?
Challenging each of you all down
and nobody's leaving until he gets his $40,000.
What?
I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife Melinda P. Sapp was alive, was a good date. I could take
He's
her to the
asking
movies,
money
buy a box of
for. He's
popcorn,
asking people
one
for
soda,
money
two
to take his wife on a date.
I wasn't cheap. That's swag. I was looking in her eyes. She's
Like,
looking in mine.
I don't, you know what? Go ahead and pause. I don't have a problem with people asking for money but I do have a problem with churches asking for money because I know for a fact, same like what we were saying last night. Was it last night that we were saying that people get money?
Yeah, I think so.
What was I saying about that?
You think you were talking about like how
Rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah, rich people are complaining that the federal government is not giving them money no more, right? Like, that's ridiculous, too. Like, that's the same fucking scenario. You get money from the fucking higher up of the church, whatever the fuck the church is, the bank of the church, right? Because they have those Christian religions, they also have their own banking system. And that's how they collect money from people. And that's how they get away with all the fucking taxes, tax evasions and all that they do. That's how they evade all taxes.
Isn't there like a code for that?
There's different codes, but anyways, different codes for that.
Yeah.
So that's that. People don't hide it no more. People don't hide it. And you know what? If I say something, I'm gonna say this. That motherfucker is the false prophet. It's one of them, because there's a lot of them. You can see fucking Joel Osteen. He's another one. That piece of shit just asking people for money. That's all they do. Oh, you need to give money so that the Lord can bless you with all his blessings. That's how he talks.
What if we don't want?
If you don't donate money to the church, Jesus is going to punish you. He's not going to give you any luck. All you will have is bad luck because you didn't follow Jesus' teaching.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what I say every time. But anyways, the bishop is finally kidnapping people so that they can give him money to take his wife on a date. Probably dead wife, because he said late wife. It's probably dead. Anyway, and why does he need the money? Like, your wife is dead. You don't need to go on a date. Oh, maybe he's got his sister backup, whatever the fuck. No, it's because they call each other brothers and sisters in church. That's what I mean. Not literal sister.
Okay, because I was getting confused.
Yeah, that was weird. But anyways. What else do we have there?
We have a light-powered
Do that one.
UPA in the sky.
So we've talked about multiple systems of well, you know what? This is what I was saying about Elon, right? His rocket, right? It's just weird that it did something way different than what we're accustomed to. But also, and I was saying, we're using the same type of rockets to go into space that they've always used. But in reality, they might not be. Because I came across this fucking laser beam power ionic propulsion spacecraft. Lightcraft. What the hell is going on here? What is going on there is that craft is being propelled by light. Look at that. That's flying with that light is making it go up.
So what? Is there something pushing it up?
The light.
Well, yeah, the light's pushing it up, but we can't see it because
it's moving because of the light.
Yeah, I know, but
the engine is powered with that light.
So then they could take it from the sun then.
Not necessarily. I don't know what the fuck they've done with that, but play it again. Because it's really interesting with the shit that they could do now, right? And I bet you anything that this fucking clip is an old clip of some old video that they fucking released. And you know what? People are going to call it fake. And we always end up calling, it's a conspiracy. But what happens later?
Ends up being
now, remember, R2 Sands was the first one to tell you about light-powered crafts.
And
they can power crafts with light now.
Watch, someone's going to come out and saying that they're going to be the first ones that said.
No. Someone's going to come out and say the same shit I just said, and that video is going to get fucking 1 billion views because fucking people don't want to watch my shit when I'm telling them. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We'll still tell them. Anyways, light power engines are now in play. You just don't know it yet. What else do we have?
UPA in the sky.
Oh, yeah, let's do that one. UAP.
And we got 2 more.
Did I say UPA or UAP?
Oh, it is UP.
UAP, right?
Yeah, UAP.
All right. Now, speaking of weird things in the sky, right? Now, look at this. Play it.
What the hell?
What is that?
That looks like that, What was
It looks like a guy on a cape.
No, that's the second thing that it looks like to me, but it looks like the Boba Fett the Boba Fett aircraft or whatever the thing it was.
I don't know what he's talking
From
about.
Star Wars.
Oh, I don't know what it's called. But I thought it was like, it looks like a person to me. You know what's interesting about this though? Speaking back to engines, right? They do have those fucking jetpacks. But I don't think you can hover like that with a jetpack. I don't know. It's just weird. We've talked about giants. We've talked about different types of UAPs. We've talked about lights in the sky. But look at this. This looks like a person on a cape. Just fucking standing there. And if it's standing there, what the fuck are you looking at? Come tell me. Interesting. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. That looks fake because the light doesn't match with the photo.
What are you talking about?
I don't know if that's just me, but like.
I mean, that's probably just you, but from this angle, from the angle when I came across that clip, it looks real to me. So, but I don't know.
I don't know.
You can leave it. Yeah, play it. Yeah, go ahead. We're good. We're good.
And
Anyways, we have UAPs in the sky. It's a real mystery, people. Eventually, hopefully one day we find out exactly what the fuck's going on in our skies. Well, I'm pretty sure that the federal government already knows what the fuck's going on. They just won't tell you.
Also, by the way, we have lip bitten and nut stuck.
Oh, okay. But before we leave those. We'll see. We'll maybe get to them. Where are we on time?
We're 56.
Don't let me go back past one more. Okay, we'll close soon. We probably won't get to those two videos.
Okay.
We'll
just close on an hour.
Yeah, we're good. So now, this is I think I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. You know, I remember when I was in high school, nobody knew anything about generational trauma. You know what generational trauma is?
Like past stuff.
Like black people, right? Like black people, like nowadays, they can all cry about slavery and all that. But none of them know anything about being enslaved. In the way their people were slaves. So what they claim is that people today are traumatized by whatever happened to those people hundreds of years ago. That's what generational trauma is.
That's in the past, buddy.
Exactly. That's what my point is. Someone taught every single one of us about generational trauma, and now everybody's a pussy. Everybody thinks, oh, my generational trauma. Oh, my vagina hurts. You mean in over hundreds of years, you couldn't get over that shit? And because I gave an example of black people are going to be like, you get over slavery. That's not what I'm saying, bitch. What I'm saying is you get over that shit. I'm not saying let's forget about it. I'm not saying let's forget about what happened. What I'm saying is you have no right to say, my trauma because my ancestor were slave. That's why I'm like this today. That's why you're a piece of shit. It doesn't matter what the fuck they did. Well, how come you don't have good trauma from your fucking people in the past? What if they were successful? Why are you not successful? They were successful.
Black people.
Picking cotton. So anyways, like I said, someone taught every single one of us about generational trauma, and now everybody's a pussy. Not your fight, buddy. Anyways, I'm gonna leave off with a pet peeve. You know what a pet peeve is?
Yeah, something that pisses you off.
Something that pisses me off. You know what I hate? I hate when I'm listening to a podcast. You know, the conversation is going good. And it's really, and I'm into it. And out of nowhere, it transitioned to fucking sports talk. If I wanted to listen to a fucking sports talk, I would go listen to a fucking sports fucking podcast. I'm not listening to a fucking comedy podcast for you to tell me, oh, the fucking Jets, oh, the New York Yankees, oh, the fucking, los Dodgers, oh, Steve Curry, oh, all those fucking retards talking about sports. There's nothing that arranges me more than sports talk.
You wanna know what's funny though?
What is funny?
Your face never goes red when you scream, because a lot of people at my school, when they scream, they go red.
You know why?
Because you're used to it.
No, because I'm dark. Because I'm black. I'm a shade away from being black. That's why. That's why my face doesn't get red. And also, you know what's weird? Whoa. We'll leave off of this one. You know how white people call any other race colored people, or especially black people, they call them colored people?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens to a white person in the sun?
Tan.
They turn red, they turn tan, right? If you put them in the cold water, what happens?
White.
Turn purple from being cold, right? So there's I already gave you 3 different shades of color that white people changed. So explain to me how black people are people of color.
They don't change color.
They don't change color ever. But white people change color constantly. They get sick, they get green or yellow.
Yellows rarely I see.
The yellow is when they get really when people are sick, when white people are sick and they're gonna throw up. Like even I would get fucking yellow if I was gonna throw up.
I never seen you go yellow though.
But that's because I'm not a bitch. I don't throw up. Well, I have thrown up in the past. So, anyways.
You didn't vomit that long ago.
Anyways. But anyways, that's how much fun we have, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to our 2 cents. Have a good weekend. A good week. Enjoy your week. Deuces. Goodbye. Bye. Shalom.